My Future Wife is Wagatsuma-san is a manga I bet you've never heard of, unless you found this video by searching about this manga, in which case please subscribe to the channel, we need some fresh blood. Anywho, since nobody talks about this manga, I thought why not talk about it, because I literally just finished it today. Yes, I know it's a few years old, but I just stumbled on it alright. Fun story, while reading last week's chapter of Dr. Stone, this manga was in the recommended section, so I read it. Fun story over. Anyway, if you like anime analyses and thematic breakdowns, then subscribe and like and comment and all that shizzle. Now let's get on to the meat and potatoes of this video and talk about My Future Wife is Wagatsuma-san. So My Future Wife is Wagatsuma-san is a historical horror manga about a man cursed with the power to see the future, and so as to witness his friends be sent to prison and his sister date a roadman. And if you aren't happy with that synopsis, then My Future Wife is Wagatsuma-san is a romance comedy manga about a man who can time slip into the future. He uses his new powers to help solve his friend's future problems in the present, and to make sure he ends up marrying his true love in the future. Neat premise, right? That for once wasn't sarcastic, that was actually, it was a really good premise, and it was well executed. The manga is short enough that the premise doesn't get too old, and although the time slip power could have been explored deeper, I feel it works well enough for the story. The characters, although in some cases underdeveloped, are fun, comedic, and each have particular traits that distinguish them from one another. One of my favourite characters being Sylvia, an exchange student who is a massive anime otaku, and orders around the uncool nerds like they are her subjects. However, despite this, I feel the main character, Arashima, if I'm pronouncing it right, is a bit bland, though I do personally find him very relatable and comedic, but that's probably due to my own personality, rather than him being a well-written character, which I'm not saying he isn't, I'm just saying he's not the most developed of protagonists. And on the flip side, Wagatsuma, his future wife, is really interesting, and at least in my opinion a really fun character, and the chemistry on panel does feel real. Also, she's very cute. Wait, technically they're underage. God damn it. This is the My Hero Academia video all over again. Then we also have Ran Ito, who is easily the most developed character in the whole story, and Yama-chan, a character who expresses the philosophy of just enjoying life without thinking about the future to the fullest really damn well, and he's one of my personal favourite characters, and he is awesome. Not going into plot spoilers, but the ending does feel a bit rushed to me, and although I like the ambiguity of the last chapter, I would have preferred some kind of epilogue chapter to round the series off. Sticking to the critiques for a few more seconds, there is a rather ex machina thing near the end of the story that I wasn't a fan of. Dashima's goals changed quite drastically in the end, but these are only small nitpicks. Back onto the positives, when reading this manga I just couldn't put it down, which is a bit of an insult to Naruto, more than anything, as I've been reading that for 2 months now, and I finished this manga in a few days. The comedy for this manga is right up my alley and is one of my favourite parts. Although a lot of the jokes hinge on an understanding of Japan and Japanese culture, I think I've gleaned enough knowledge from all the anime I've watched and manga I've read to at least understand the jokes. I'm a very sad otaku. It also helps that the translations were there on the page and explained all the Japanese references, but also ignore that and just stick with the story that I'm an amazing otaku. Another cool thing to note is that a lot of chapters are named after songs and albums like Sheer Heart Attack, Blitzkrieg Bop, and Come Together, which is just awesome and reminds me a lot of JoJo's, because I love music and I love music references. Also, I like to reference music in my own written works, which I may or may not be discussing on the channel in the future, because yes, I am an author, and if there's demand, which there won't be because no one will watch this video, I'll make a video about it, even though I already said I will. Let's just ignore that. So if you wanted to know whether to read this manga or not, there you go. But for those who have already read it, aren't planning on it, or just want to hear me keep talking, because this is a sexy voice, I will now give my personal views on the manga in a more analytic lens. So if you are leaving now, then make sure to sub, like, comment, and check out my past videos, as there is probably something you will like. Anyway, for everyone else, let's get down to some good old manga analyses. Now, the idea of changing your fate, or someone else's fate, is an idea explored throughout most of the series, be it for the better and sometimes for the worse. I think this narrative helps to explore self-improvement and in some cases self-sacrifice. For example, Arashima sacrificed his own future with Itsuko, leading to him becoming an unemployed shut-in just to help his friend Fuji-Q, or his codename, Gates of Flesh. This is self-sacrifice at its finest, choosing to put the happiness and future of your friends over yourself. However, it also shows you should not focus too much on the future and enjoy the present, illustrated greatly through the character of Yama-chan, one of the best characters, as I've already said. This theme is also explored by how Sekai shows Ashima that some things can't be avoided. This further shows how some things are inevitable and that you just have to settle for them. Except if you work really hard and then you can do the impossible, which is a bit contradictory to the overall themes of the story, but, it's a fair moral to teach. In the end, this manga shows a lot of things. On the surface level, it teaches you about the hardships of rejection, bullying, isolation, and relationships, but also the benefits of living in the moment and helping others. But on a deeper level, it reveals how you can strive for a goal no matter how impossible, and that you can change your fate for the better. And that, in my opinion, is such a great bunch of themes and morals to teach. But what do I know? And since this video ain't been memey enough yet, here's some yarrow. And trust me, one day this will be a meme. Anywho, outro time. Thanks for watching, it really means zawardo to me, and if you like the video then do the obvious thing and like. Also, I am a time slipper, so I already know that in 10 years into the future you are already subscribed to this channel. So with you now subscribed and having liked the video, all I can ask is for you to check out my video library, as there is a lot of them and I'm sure you'll find one you like. With all that said and done, I've been Seth the Sin, the Deadly Cynic Geek, and I am signing out.